Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. If you want to learn how to fight heart disease and stroke, stay tuned as we talk about the American Heart Association's upcoming Heart Walk, October 19th at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're in Conway, South Carolina, on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're in the E. Craig Wall Senior School of Business, and we're actually visiting with a Coastal Carolina University alum, Greg Thompson. Greg, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Greg. It's a pleasure to be here.
When were you graduated from Coastal Carolina?
I graduated from Coastal in 1992 with a Bachelor of Arts in English.
10 years ago.
Oh, that hurt, Greg. 10 years ago.
Forgive me, that's a stretch. And you are actually, I understand, executive assistant to the president of Horry Georgetown Technical College.
Right, just next door. Sure am.
That is right next door to the Coastal Carolina campus.
It sure is. Well, our Conway campus is right next door. We also have campus in Myrtle Beach, on the former Myrtle Beach Air Force Base,
okay,
and also down in Georgetown.
Are you a Carolinian by birth?
I am. I am a native of Conway, South Carolina. I've been here all of my life, and as far as I know, will live and spend the rest of my life here.
Yeah, you have. So you grew up in Conway, you went to Coastal Carolina University, and now you stayed even after graduation, remained in the area?
I have remained in the area. I'm pursuing my master's degree right now, but I'm doing that online so I can still live in the area.
Great. Tell us about your position at Horry Georgetown Tech, please.
Well, I'm the assistant to the president. I'm also director of college relations and marketing. I work out of the president's office. The shift into the Office of College Relations and Marketing has been fairly recent, but I oversee all of our marketing efforts, our college relations, our interactivity with our alumni, with other fundraising ventures and community outreach ventures involved in promotion of the college, and also provide direct support to the president in a wide variety of roles.
Is there a new president at Horry Georgetown Tech?
Fairly new. Neil Wilson is our president. He was officially named president back in February of this year, and he was interim president for about a year prior to that. He's certainly not new to the college. He has 31 years there at the college. He started as a forestry instructor way back in 1970, and has since moved up through the ranks, and is a great person to work for, really cares about the college, knows the area, loves the area.
Do you know if Horry Georgetown Technical College has been involved with the Waccamaw Division's Heart Walk in the past?
We have been. We try to be as active as we can in every community event, every community endeavor. Time is limited, people are limited, and time is limited, obviously. But we try to be, and this year we're probably more active than we've ever been before.
And how long have you been at the Technical College?
I've been there 5 years.
Okay, great. What about, what prompted you to get involved with the Heart Walk this year?
Well, our president, being a close colleague of Dr. Engel over here at Coastal, as the chair of the event, was issued a personal challenge to become involved, and so as his assistant, that personal challenge was extended to me to help him achieve that.
Yes.
And so, obviously assisting him in that responsibility, but also as the director of college relations and marketing, we see it certainly as a community outreach event.
Had you personally walked in the Heart Walk?
I have not. This year will be my first year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Great. Do you have a goal as to the number of students at Horry Georgetown Tech that will be participating in the walk?
Well, we haven't set a specific goal. We'll play that by ear, but we know that we have all three campuses involved. We have team leaders on all three campuses, so we're hoping for more than 100 walkers. We also have a number of student organizations, clubs, honor societies involved as well. So the sky's the limit is the way we're approaching it.
You may or may not know, earlier this week, Dr. Engel issued a challenge from Coastal Carolina University, your alma mater. He issued a challenge to Horry Georgetown Tech, as well as to other Webster University here in the community, other secondary education schools, anyone involved in educational pursuits. And I would like to claim that his challenge was well into the 20 or 30,000 range, but actually issued a challenge of at least $10,000 for Horry Georgetown Tech. Have you and President Wilson discussed that challenge and how y'all may reach and beat that?
Well, The rivalry between our two institutions is very friendly. We're very cooperative, so if his goal between the two of us is $20,000, we'll do our dead level best to help our two institutions together achieve that goal.
Thank you, Greg. You'd mentioned earlier that you are involved with overseeing involvement with students. What is your direct involvement with students? Obviously, as executive assistant of the president, you are in a constant role with students, but how do you go about your involvement with students?
Well, my involvement with students is on a number of levels. First, our president has a very open-door policy, and so I interact with students on a regular basis who come into the office just to ask questions or to inquire, and I have the opportunity to speak with them about a number of issues. Also, in the role of marketer, the chief marketer for the college, we're the ones who get feedback from students about what we're doing right, what we could do better, how to best appeal to their needs and meet their needs, and how we then promote the college to students and prospective students. So that's where I really lie. I also do a little bit of teaching from time to time.
Is that right?
So I really enjoy that.
What do you teach in particular?
Well, I've taught English.
Great.
I've filled in as needed, and also for our continuing education division, I've taught conversational Spanish and Spanish for the healthcare professions.
Okay. Speaking of students, are there any nursing or medical programs within Horry Georgetown Technical College that have a particular focus on cardiac awareness or heart disease and strokes?
Well, our students go through a comprehensive educational process. We offer programs of study leading to both associate degree nursing certification, practical nursing licensure, surgical technology, a wide array of programs, and their studies are very comprehensive, involving obviously cardiac health, pulmonary health, and they're also very active in community events and community awareness. Interestingly enough, one of our student groups who's most focused on this event is our Phi Theta Kappa Student Honor Society. Their honors topic for the next 2 years is health awareness and pathways to improved and bettered health. So they were terribly excited when I asked them to become involved in the Heart Walk, and are taking the reins and really leading the student drive.
We've got a little less than a minute, but I was wondering in particular if there are any wraparound activities that Horry Georgetown Tech is participating in to help to try to raise additional dollars for that goal and to surpass it.
Sure. One interesting thing that we're doing is having what I'm calling a cabinet conscience day, when our president and our vice presidents, the chief leaders of the college, are going to auction off their secretarial skills to individual employees or to departments who may need them to do some filing for an afternoon. So we're excited about that, and it shows our administrative dedication and commitment to this event as well.
That's wonderful. Greg Thompson, 5 years at Horry Georgetown Technical College, actually a graduate of Coastal Carolina University, the university whose president is chairing the Heart Walk this year, the 11th annual Heart Walk for the Waccamaw Division, but Greg Thompson, personal first. We hope to see you out there on October 19th, and thanks so much for your involvement, Greg.
My pleasure, Greg. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're in Conway, South Carolina, on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're visiting with Heather Simpson of Blue Cross Blue Shield. Heather, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
The drive over from Surfside Beach probably wasn't too far to Conway.
No.
Have you been involved with Blue Cross Blue Shield for a good while?
I have. I've been employed with Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina for 5 years, in my present position for 2.
In that position itself, excuse me, I should have said your position at Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I am currently the Health Promotions Coordinator. It is my duty to promote overall wellness, if you will, to our associates at the Surfside Beach operation. Every month we choose a topic, and we try to educate our associates appropriately. So some past topics that we have included would be osteoporosis, prostate cancer awareness, heart health, and summer fun tips we just did recently.
Could you tell the viewers a little bit about Blue Cross Blue Shield? I know that's I'm not sure exactly what Blue Cross Blue Shield does.
Certainly. Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina is an insurance company. We actually wear lots of different hats, and we have offices in lots of different locations. In the state of South Carolina, we have offices in Columbia, Florence, Surfside Beach, and Charleston, and Camden as well. So we have well over 5,000 employees within the state of South Carolina.
You said well over 5,000 in South Carolina, and how many are in the Surfside Beach location?
At the Surfside Beach location, we have about 1,200.
Do you know about how many are located in the Florence location?
Actually, I do not.
Okay,
I think
right.
that they have maybe twice as many as we do, so maybe about 3,000.
Is that right? So with over 5,000 in the state, the bulk of them, for the most part, are located within our viewing audience.
Yeah,
That's-
that would be correct.
That's very interesting. Well, that's obviously many viewers in the PD and Robeson and Scotland County have familiarity with Blue Cross Blue Shield as well as down here in Horry, Georgetown County. What prompted Blue Cross Blue Shield to get involved with the American Heart Association's Heart Walk?
In the past, Columbia and Florence offices have been involved, and this year it was passed to Surfside, and they asked that we become involved with the American Heart Walk. I'm hoping that by our participation we can kind of help generate some interest in fundraising for the American Heart Association and also promote heart health to our employees, their families, and community members in our area.
Well, that's a great commitment, particularly with 1,200 employees. Now, I'm sure the PD area chapter of Blue Cross Blue Shield is very active with the Florence Heart Walk. Actually, in a couple weeks, we'll be focused on the Florence Heart Walk, and I know there's quite a few folks that'll be out from Blue Cross Blue Shield to the PD. In particular, when you think about as many folks as you've talked to or have been involved with in recruiting to actually be in the walk on October 19th, do you have an idea right now about how many folks will be walking?
At the present time, from the Surfside operation, we have about 60 employees and family members committed to walk in the walk. I'm shooting for about 100 this year. Since it is our first year, I made our goal kind of small, just so that we could attain that goal. I didn't want anybody to get discouraged for next year, but I definitely think we'll get at least 100 from our location.
Does the Surfside Beach branch of Blue Cross Blue Shield have a financial goal for the walk?
Yep, we're hoping to raise approximately $5,000. If we can get more, that would be great, but again, I kind of set that a little low since it's our first year. We wanted to start slowly and kind of get the feel for the fundraising process.
Speaking of Blue Cross Blue Shield, I understand you all have a program that focuses on a particular health topic each month. Am I correct in that?
That is right.
What's the topic this month?
This month, actually, we were focusing on prostate cancer awareness because it is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month during September. So we have a bulletin board that posts a lot of different information about prostate cancer awareness. We hand out brochures, flyers, and then we also offer presentations throughout the month that our employees can get training hours if they attend.
How many years have you personally, Heather, participated in the Heart Association's Heart Walk?
This is actually my first year.
This is your first year, excuse me.
This is my first year.
Are there wraparound activities that you all's branch of Blue Cross Blue Shield have going to help raise funds?
Yep, we actually last week hosted a dress down week, and what we do is send out an email to all of our employees, and they can find out a little bit about the American Heart Association through that email and why their donations would benefit the American Heart Association. And what they do is pay $5 so that they can dress down for the week. So that was hosted last week. And then on September 20th, we're going to have a bake sale where some of our walkers are going to donate some baked goods, and we're going to set up in one of our break rooms and sell some items, most of which I'm hoping will be heart-healthy items.
Yes, no doubt. Well, you'll probably, hopefully, you all can even think about wrapping that into the Fall Fitness Festival, maybe having some prizes for the most heart-healthy baked goods, and then turn them in, as you know, on October 19th. It's not only folks out there walking, but the very active Fall Fitness Festival. You may want to think about, I know that's just a couple days from now, but you may want to think about having some top prizes for the most heart-healthy baked goods.
Yeah, that would be an excellent idea.
That would be exciting. Let them know. And so folks were dressed down last week, and a lot of folks wrapped around that.
Yep, they really enjoy dressing down because we have to dress business casual. So during dress down weeks, they can wear jeans and no t-shirts. They still have to look presentable, but we can wear jeans and capri pants and sandals. So they really enjoy that.
Are all 1,200 employees located in a particular location for the Surfside Beach branch, or is that?
The majority of them are. We do have some off-site employees, but very minimum. The majority of them are in our Surfside Beach office. So I have a very big audience to try to educate them on their well-being and activities going on in the area.
Very definitely. Do you have an idea, Heather, about how much money is spent each year in fighting cardiovascular disease?
I believe it is estimated that this year over $330 billion will be spent on heart disease alone.
$330 billion.
That involves costs accrued by the patients, medical costs, as well as disability.
So many folks, I know in Horry and Georgetown County, the Waccamaw Division, I believe almost 40% of deaths in the counties are cardiac related.
I believe so. I think heart disease is the #1 killer in our area, so I think it's very important that we help spread the word, let people know that through exercise and healthy eating they can kind of ward off heart disease.
Heather Simpson, the promotions coordinator for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Surfside Beach. 1,200 employees here. Their first year totally getting wrapped into it. A $5,000 goal with hopes to have at least 100 employees walking on October 19th from the walk, which will kick off at the pavilion. Heather, thanks so much for your involvement this year.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're in Conway, South Carolina, on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're in the E. Craig Wall School of Business, and we're visiting with Ann Laymon of the Prudential Burris & Chapin. Ann, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I know you've had a long career or a long volunteer activity with the American Heart Association's Waccamaw Division. I think this is the 11th annual Heart Walk coming up for the Waccamaw Division. How many Heart Walks have you attended?
I think I've done all 11. I think I started doing the March of Dimes and the Heart Walk and decided I'd concentrate on one, and I've chosen the Heart Walk.
That's a great commitment. How long have you been, just a couple things about yourself, how long have you been in the Carolinas?
I'm originally from the Midwest, Indiana and Ohio. I've been here 18 years now.
Okay.
With Prudential Burris & Chapin Realty for 10.
10 years.
Office manager there.
Okay, boy. And where's that located?
We're at 74th Avenue and Kings Highway, right in the middle of Myrtle Beach.
It's in Myrtle Beach, okay. Well, are there, I guess there are Prudential offices throughout the Carolinas?
There are. We just opened a new one in Myrtle Beach, and we have the exclusive franchise in the county. So we are really the only Prudential Burris & Chapin in the county.
This year's Heart Walk will be October 19th on a Saturday at the Pavilion. Has it been at the Pavilion most years in the past?
Every year. Every year.
Right?
And I think the draw is the beach. Where else can you gather your friends and coworkers and go for a nice walk down the beach, raising funds for a good cause, and then have food and festivities before and after?
You're right. I think in a couple weeks we're going to be focused on the Florence Heart Walk. I know they walk out at Francis Marion, which is a beautiful campus. Surely that's exhilarating to be out there, but to be on the beach. There's another activity that the Waccamaw Division of the Heart Association focuses on, which is another event on the beach. What is that? Is it the ride?
Oh, the ride-a-thon with the horses, and that is coming up in November, and this will be, I believe, the 21st annual one. And it started with just, I think, 10 horses 21 years ago, and last year they had 900 horses, and this year they're hoping to get even bigger and better. And that is beautiful to see horses. One gentleman brings a bull with a 48-inch rack of horns and rides that down the beach. People bring their little carriages behind their horses, and that is a beautiful sight on the beach. And again, that raises funds for the local chapter of the Heart Association.
Absolutely. I know we didn't get Ann in to talk about the ride-a-thon, but knowing that your involvement as president of the Waccamaw Division the last 2 years, that's something we couldn't miss a chance to ask you about. Do you mind if I ask real quick? I believe you were born with a heart defect.
Right. I was what's called a blue baby, and every time I say that, I'll always hear someone say, oh, my niece or my nephew or my brother or someone was a blue baby. I was born with a hole in my heart, and that little loop that the blood makes to go to the lungs to pick up oxygen, which gives it the red color, I had a hole between chambers, and it just didn't go through that little loop to pick up the oxygen, so I had a blue tint to fingernails and to my lips and to my cheeks when I was cold. And I'd walk to school in the morning, and my school teachers would say, I bet you had grape juice for breakfast. And I'd say, no, my lips are just always that color. I was always the last person to be picked in PE class. I hated gym class because I didn't have the energy. I couldn't keep up with the kids. I couldn't ride a bicycle. So I had 3 surgeries before I was 16.
3 surgeries.
3 open heart surgeries. I've got the train track down the middle. And the first 2, they just didn't have the technology to correct where the hole was.
Well, this must have had a lot to do with prompting your involvement with the
Definitely.
Heart Association.
That is why I'm involved. That's why I'm still involved.
Have you had other family members that have been affected by heart disease or strokes?
I have a sister who's 13 months younger than me, and she also was born with a hole in her heart. And she was lucky enough, her hole was in a little bit different area, and she had surgery when she was, I think, about 3 1/2 or 4, and was corrected the first time around. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I was a high-risk pregnancy when I was pregnant with her, but she's a very healthy 14-year-old, absolutely no heart problems at all. So I've been fortunate in that aspect.
That's wonderful. Well, obviously, those life experiences have a heck of a lot to do with what we do with ourselves and going forward, and I know that has helped tie into why you've been such a motivated fundraiser, not only for the Heart Walk, but so many events. But the Heart Walk itself, do you have a fundraising goal this year?
Normally, I'm right around the $2,000 range, so I'm going to try and be right up in there. It used to be one of the top top individual fundraisers, and with some of the other people that are out there, I'm no longer in the top fundraisers.
Does the Prudential Burrs and Chapin have a team walking the event, or other groups?
We do. Excuse me. We're part of the Board of Realtors, and again, we're also part of Burrs and Chapin.
Right.
But I kind of have my own little group within Prudential, and they support me, and I get the walkers out there. I think we had maybe 8 people from my office, and it's not a real big office. There's maybe 40 of us, and we had 8 that were out there walking with me.
Is there anything in particular that you do each year to raise that $2,000?
The Heart Association provides us with hearts, and they're just paper hearts, and you can put a name on them in honor of somebody or just whatever. And a lot of people say, well, I'll buy one for $1. Well, my minimum is $5. I don't sell it for $1. So most of the people in my office and the people I deal with, they'll buy a heart from me, and then their name goes on it, and I plaster it on a big glass wall in our office, and you can just see it just grows and grows as people see more and more of them going up every day. What an exciting for me.
We just got a couple seconds, but I was wondering, or a minute, if there was anything in particular that viewers could do to volunteer for the Heart Walk. What could they do? I
would say get a team together, whether it's your homeowners group, people in your neighborhood, Girl Scouts or whatever, and call the Heart Association at 626-3939, and they can give you a packet with ideas to fundraise. They can give you the supply of the red hearts that you can sell to your neighbors. I think we've had schools before that have done teachers against teachers, and they'll plaster the hearts on the classrooms to see who's got the most hearts sold. It's just easy. Just ask.
That's wonderful. 843-626.
626-3939.
3939 is the Waccamaw Division of the Heart Association's number. Ann Laymon, a woman who's lived her entire life thinking about heart disease, who's been affected by heart disease, who's made a commitment walking the Heart Walk all 11 years here for the Waccamaw Division, I was about to ask her if she wasn't with the Prudential Burrs and Chapin, what she'd be doing, but I have a strong feeling that the answer would be volunteering in something related to heart disease.
Definitely.
Ann, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Dr. Ron Engel and all the staff here at Coastal Carolina University for allowing us to visit with volunteers of the American Heart Association focused on the American Heart Walk. Keep the date in mind, October 19, 2002.